Welcome to German History with a German accent. My name is Wolf, WOLF, just like the animal. In the comments under my last video, a viewer suggested a video about Paul von Lettow-Vorbeck, which was a great idea, so in today's video we're talking about him. If you have any suggestions, please don't hesitate to write them in the comments, and also don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Paul von Lettow-Vorbeck was born in St. Louis on March 20th, 1870, as son of the Pomeranian officer Karl von Lettow-Vorbeck, and his mother's name was Marie. The Lettow-Vorbeck nobility can be traced back into the 14th century. Paul von Lettow-Vorbeck joined the Cadet Corps in 1881 in Potsdam, and 3 years later he attended the Main Cadet Corps in Berlin-Lichterfelde. In 1888, he became an officer of the Prussian Infantry 4th Foot Guards Regiment. During the turn of the century, von Lettow-Vorbeck participated as a member of the 1st East Asian Infantry Brigade in the defeat of the Boxer Rebellion in China. The Boxer Rebellion was an event that occurred between 1899 and 1901 in North China, where Chinese martial artists fought against Christian missionaries and Chinese Christians. Besides attacking the people, they also destroyed foreign properties like railroad tracks. The backstory of the Boxer Rebellion was that after the First Sino-Japanese War, China lost the control over Korea, and several natural disasters, like the flooding of the Yellow River and following droughts occurred. The Chinese people feared the growing influence of foreign interests and privileges given to the Christians. I also mentioned that it was Chinese martial artists who led the fights. The martial arts were also called Chinese boxing. That's where the name Boxer Rebellion came from. 8 nations, one of them was the German Empire, sent soldiers to combat the Chinese, and the estimated casualties totaled about 100,000. Between 1904 and 1906, Paul von Lettow-Vorbeck served in German Southwest Africa, one colony of the German Empire. In the time between 1904 and 1908, the German Empire fought down an uprising by Guerrilla and Nama people. This uprising began in January 1904, where about 100 German settlers had been killed as an act of rebellion against the German colonial ruling. The German response was severe. Lothar von Trotha defeated the Herero at the Battle of Waterberg, with Paul von Lettow-Vorbeck as an adjutant and von Trotha's staff conducting tactical planning for this battle. However, after the successful battle at the Waterberg, the Herero were forced into the Omaheke Desert, where many of them died due to dehydration. When the Nama people insurrected against the German colonial ruling, they were combated in a similar way. Casualties ranged between 34,000 and up to 100,000 Africans. This was considered the first genocide of the 20th century. In 1906, von Lettow-Vorbeck was wounded on his eye and was sent back to Germany to recover before he was commanded to the Greater General Staff. In October 1913, he was assigned to the German Protectorate Force in Cameroon before he took over the German Protectorate Forces in German East Africa in April of the following year. In August of 1914, the First World War broke out in Europe with the war declaration of Austria-Hungary against Serbia, triggering the alliances of the European forces. Despite the Berlin Conference of 1884 and 1885, where colonial powers like the United Kingdom, France, and the German Empire agreed on neutrality of the colonies in case of a European war, colonial fighting began in the year 1914. While the governor of German East Africa, Heinrich Schnee, tried maintaining neutrality, Paul von Lettow-Vorbeck had a very different idea. He wanted to pin down as many Allied troops as possible. Up until 1916, von Lettow-Vorbeck was able to mostly repel Allied attacks and hold most of the German East African territory. But by that year, the Allied forces increased their efforts and manpower, and von Lettow-Vorbeck adapted by switching to a guerrilla warfare tactic. He avoided open direct combat. Instead, he attacked, retreated, and kept moving his troops around. His troops, by the way, were mostly local Africans, called Askaris. Up until the end of the First World War, British and South African troops were unable to defeat the remainder of Paul von Lettow-Vorbeck's troops. After some negotiations with the Allies, von Lettow-Vorbeck and his men were permitted to return to Germany, where they marched through the Brandenburg Gate as the only truly undefeated heroes of World War I. After the war had ended, Paul von Lettow-Vorbeck led the Free Corps Lettow, with which he ended uprisings in Hamburg in 1919. In the following year, he also participated in the Kapp-Lüttwitz coup. This coup failed quickly and resulted in von Lettow losing his position in the Reichswehr. He kept his pension and the right to wear his uniform, and was ultimately cleared of high treason charges. In March 1919, Paul von Lettow-Vorbeck got married, and after being released from the military, he made money as a public speaker and writer around the topic of the battles in German East Africa. In his presentations, he defended the economic necessity of colonies, as well as the territorial needs since Germany was overpopulated. In the 1920s, von Lettow-Vorbeck joined the DNVP, the Deutsche Nationale Volkspartei, or the German National People's Party. In the political spectrum of the Weimar Republic, the DNVP was a right-wing conservative party that did not support the constitution of the young German Republic, but instead was out to restore a German monarchy and regain territories lost after the First World War. In 1928, Paul von Lettow-Vorbeck was voted directly into the German Reichstag, where he spent 2 years without holding any offices. During the 1930s, he was in favor of Paul von Hindenburg's support of Reichschancellor Heinrich Brüning, who ruled Germany without a majority in the parliament, but with emergency decrees issued by Paul von Hindenburg. During the 1932 Reichspresidential elections, he also supported the Field Marshal. During the ruling time, between 1933 to 1945, von Lettow-Vorbeck continued to remain an important figure in the German colonial efforts, until their doctrine changed into the focus of Lebensraum. In 1939, the Guy with the Mustache honored von Lettow-Vorbeck with the promotion to the rank of General of the Infantry at the 25th anniversary of the Tannenberg Battle. But he was not recalled in the Second World War. In that war, he lost his 2 sons, Arndt and Rüdiger. After the war, Paul von Lettow-Vorbeck traveled to the former German East Africa again and authored another book in which he justified the colonial ruling, and 4 years afterwards, von Lettow-Vorbeck published his memoirs. When he passed away on March 9, 1964, Bundeswehr officers stood honor guard, and the German defense minister, speaking at his funeral, reiterated that Paul von Lettow-Vorbeck was truly undefeated in the battlefield. Thank you so much for watching.